The winter pond incident. Growing up, my family had a pond in the backyard. It wasn't huge, not the kind you'd fish in or swim in, but big enough to feel like our own little wilderness. In summer, frogs lived there. In spring, it flooded the lawn, and in winter, it became our personal skating rink. At least, that's how my brother and I saw it. The problem was, we also had ducks. And ducks do not care about winter. They'd paddle around even in the coldest weather, so there was always a little circle of unfrozen water in the middle of the pond. No matter how cold it got, that ring stayed open, rippling and dark, while the rest of the pond froze into a smooth, tempting sheet of ice. Our parents repeatedly told us not to go on the ice without them. And as children do, we listened politely, and then didn't listen at all. The plan, aka no plan at all. One afternoon, my brother and I looked out at the frozen pond. The ice looked perfect, smooth, shiny, untouched. The ducks were bobbing contentedly in their usual unfrozen spot, as if mocking us with their little ring of danger. My brother nudged me and said, "We should go on it." This was our version of sibling communication. No discussion, no strategy, just a statement and immediate action. We pulled on our jackets, boots, and gloves and snuck outside like two small criminals escaping a maximum security prison, except far less quietly. The ice held under our feet. That was all the encouragement we needed. We started sliding across the pond, running and letting ourselves glide as far as we could. We invented games instantly: longest slide, fastest stop, best spin, most dramatic crash. Kids don't need rules. We just create chaos and call it fun. Everything was going great, until it wasn't. The slide that went wrong. At one point, I decided I wanted a really long slide, the kind that makes you feel like an Olympic athlete even though you're just a kid in winter boots with zero balance. I sprinted across the ice, leaned back and pushed off, and I instantly knew I'd made a mistake. I was going too fast, way too fast. I tried to slow down, which on ice basically means flailing like a confused penguin. But it didn't help. I was sliding straight toward the open circle of water. I remember the ducks looking at me like, "That seems like a poor life choice." Before I could stop myself, I hit the slushy edge of the waterhole. My feet flew out from under me. The cold hit me like getting punched by winter itself. And then, for a terrifying moment, I actually slipped under the ice. Everything went dark and muffled. My whole body felt like it had been dropped into a freezer. I tried to push up, but couldn't find the edge. It was the kind of moment where panic overwhelms thought. Then I felt a hand grab my arm. My brother's hero moment. My brother, without thinking, without hesitating, had jumped straight into the freezing water after me. He reached under the ice, grabbed my sleeve, and yanked me back into the open air. We scrambled out onto the solid ice, slipping and dragging each other like two drenched baby seals. Somehow we made it to the shore, shaking so hard our teeth sounded like castanets. Neither of us said anything. We just ran. The aftermath and hot cocoa. When we burst into the house, soaked and freezing, our parents reacted with a mix of panic, disbelief, and the immortal parental question, "What were you thinking?" We didn't have a good answer, but after the yelling and the frantic towel wrapping, we ended up huddled at the kitchen table with blankets around our shoulders and hot cocoa in our hands. My brother was still shivering but grinning. I was still shivering, but alive, thanks to him. We didn't go on the ice again that winter. Well, not without supervision at least. And to this day, whenever someone asks if siblings ever get along, I think back to that moment. The cold water, the panic, and my brother's hand grabbing my arm without a second thought. Sometimes siblings fight, sometimes they annoy each other, but sometimes they jump into a freezing pond to drag you out.